So this is going to be a mat class, and we're gonna need a hand towel, just one. It doesn't necessarily have to be a hand towel. It just has to be something of this shape that is fabric. So maybe a scarf. And that's about it. And anything else that you may need to make yourself feel taken care of during the workout, okay? As always, you can unmute yourself and ask a question if you'd like. You can also follow up with an email or a phone call or a text. Smoke signals. So many options. Okay. Turn off my heater. So we are going to start standing today. I don't think I just have to turn this heater off. Oh, it did. It worked. Okay, so we're going to start standing today. I don't have any socks on, and that's what I will recommend for you. No sock Monday, or whatever day it is that you're watching this. And being on some side, sort of a floor situation, may be a little bit better than a rug, but both will work. I'm going to stand on my mat. I think I'm going to put mine on the floor, kind of. Yeah, okay, so this is going to be super fun. You're going to put the hand towel down on the ground. You may have done this before if you've had to do any PT for your feet. It's kind of a frustrating exercise, yet a very good one for the feet. I just put it underneath my right foot, but we're going to do both. So whichever one you're starting with is completely fine. And I'm standing right on the edge of my towel. And first, before we get to the action, I would love for you to stand nice and tall. Pick up your toes and spread them apart. And then put them back down again. And we're going to do this a few more times. Pick up your toes and spread them apart. Have a look at them along the way, why not? And then put them back down again. Keep going. P.S. You can do this seated if for some reason you need to or want to, okay? There's no reason why you really have to do this standing. Okay, we'll just do this a few more times. Pick up your toes, spread them apart, and then put them back down. I'm going to go one more time here. Spread them apart and put them back down. Now, I'm just keeping my feet comfortable distance apart. The right foot is going to do some fun things. I'm going to grab the towel with my toes. Ugh, I always remember how much I hate this. And then I'm going to use my toes in a very awkward and mildly uncomfortable way to pull the towel. P.S. It helps the brain if you do the same thing with your hand. So I feel like I'm not going to be able to bring it all the way in. I'm really going to try. Ugh. Okay, now the part, and this is why it's better on the floor also, because then you could really move it in. So after you get it pulled all the way in, you're going to have to push it back out again. I'm just going to turn to the side here. So after you get it all the way in, with your little claw foot, push it back out. Push it back out. Okay, so we are not looking for perfection here, ever, but especially at this moment. Okay, so once you feel somewhat good about that really awkward movement, we're going to go to the other foot. Okay, so do this at your own time. I'm coming over to the left foot, and I'm going to pull it in. Pull it in. Pull it in. Ugh. We're doing really good here. I mean, I feel like I have to try harder. I'm not even moving mine, really. This is the weird foot. Okay, so now I'm going to try to push it back out again. Push it out. Push it out. Okay. All right, so this is very strange, isn't it? Now the feet are woken up a little bit. We can take this towel and just put it to the side. I'm just going to fold it in half. We're going to use it in a couple of other different ways. off to the side. And now we're gonna come up and just stand nice and tall on the mat. I'm gonna stand on my mat just because it's nice and soft and squishy. And we're gonna go back to shifting back, spreading the toes apart, and then planting them back down, and then shifting into the toes. Hold there for a second. I have my heels down. Bring your hands to your hips. Press your hips forward into your hands just a little bit. You don't have to keep your pelvis in front of your chest. I just want you to fully extend through the hips and shift your weight forward without lifting your heels, and then come back again into your heels and keep your toes down. We're going to try this again. Standing nice and tall. Spread your toes, put them down. Shift your weight forward into your toes without lifting your heels, or just a little bit, and then come back. Keep your toes down, but bring your weight into your heels. Let's do this 3 more times. Breathe. And 2 more. Don't rush. And come back 1 more time. Yes. And then come on back. Now we're going to walk the feet just a little bit closer together. For me, my feet feel like they're directly underneath my hip joints. And I'm going to step my left foot forward and my right foot back. It's not a big separation. See if you can get your back foot to look straight ahead. So peek at it. If you can get that, it almost feels like it's a little turned in for me. We're gonna bend the front knee just a little bit, spread the toes apart. We're shifting we're shifting our weight into the front of both feet and then back towards the back of the foot. Of course, for my back foot, I'm kind of just feeling a stretch the whole time because that whole area is a little bit tight for me. I'm bending my front knee, shifting my weight into the front of my left foot, and then coming back a little bit and feeling the back of especially the left foot. I'm just going to do this 3 more times. Shifting towards the toes and coming back. 2 more. Shifting towards the front toes. And like no range of motion is right or wrong here. Maybe you're coming further forward with your left knee. As long as it feels okay, it's fine. And then come back. So now we're going to switch. Right foot forward, left foot back. Peek at your left foot. Try and get it to look straight ahead. We're spreading the toes again. And I'm going to, again, shift towards the front of my feet, especially the right one. And then back again towards the heels. Just notice how your feet feel during this. For me, this is a huge stretch for the back leg through the calf. I'm trying to use the toes on both feet. 3 more. I'm also trying to just keep the breath moving. And 1 more time. Good. And then we're going to step the left foot forward again. All right. So now we're going to turn out. Toes wide. Look at your toes again. Spread them apart and put them down. So when you turn your toes out, it shifts how the legs feel in the hip, how the femurs feel in its joint. So push through the toes, keeping the turnout through the legs, and lift your heels. Put your heels back down and then lift the toes. Keep going here. Try to keep your toes spread apart. Try to use all the toes. Lift the toes up and then put them back down. Spread them apart. Lift the heels. I'm still thinking about gently pressing my hips forward. Not so I could get them in front of my chest, but so I can stand up nice and tall. We're just going to do this a few more times here. And toes up. And again. And toes up 1 more time. And up. Good. Hold the toes up for just a minute. Pick up the toes a little bit more. Spread them apart. Woo! I'm gonna bring my arms out. Now put them back down and bend the knees wide, and then push through the whole foot to come up. We're breathing. Try to work as evenly as you can here. I'm always kind of using one foot more than the other. If your knees or your hips or your ankles, whatever, are uncomfortable, change the direction of where your feet are looking. Try to get the knees to track with the toes. So maybe that's more narrow than me. Maybe you're standing out wider than me. We're gonna do 4 more. 4. Use your toes. 3 more. 2 more. Good. I'm bringing my arms down. We're gonna toe, heel, toe, heel. Come to the V position we love so much, Pilates V. Spread the toes. Push down through the toes. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring your hips into your hands. For me, that gives the tush a little bit of a squeeze. Bring your hands onto your low belly. Draw the belly away from your hands. And then release that feeling back in so your hands come back into your belly. We're going to use a breath here for this. Right here, when I'm relaxed, I can feel my low belly into my hands. When I inhale, this area will expand. When I exhale, I'm going to pull the belly away from my hands. So now we're turning our attention towards the muscles in the low belly, and we're going to do this quite a bit throughout this class. Try and relax your shoulders. Stand in a comfortable position. I'm in Pilates V. If you want to come to parallel, that's totally fine. Inhale, expand. Turn your attention to your low belly. As you exhale, think about pulling your belly away from your hands and exhaling, 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 and exhaling. 2 more of these deep breaths. Can you make your exhale way longer than your inhale? Stand tall. 1 more time. Good. Keep the breath moving. Bring the arms out nice and wide. We'll do a little twist. I'm going to come to the right first. Exhale as you twist. Inhale, come center. Inhale, center. One more. And then back to the center and lower all the way down. Open the feet to parallel. Again, toes forward, spread your toes, hands to your hips. Soften your knees just a little bit. Keeping your pelvis nice and still. Lift one heel. As you lower the heel, lift the other one. We're going to start to find, I think I want to bring my hands right here to help with my balance. You keep your hands wherever you want. Try to find a stable upper body and then feet that move. So if something was above your head and you were keeping your head into like a ceiling, or if someone had their hand here, I would say your head doesn't go up and down, but the feet move. So you'll have to really use the legs. Try to roll through those feet with all those muscles that we woke up already. Use your toes. 4 more. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Put the feet down. Come all the way up to stand, okay? We are going to come down to the mat. When we come down there, we're just going to keep the towel close by, okay? We're not going to use it right away. Come down any way you really want to. I'm just coming down. And then I'm going to end up on my back with my knees bent. Why don't we start with a shin hug? So bring your hands to your shins. Maybe you prefer your hands behind your thighs. That's fine. And let's just exhale, hug the knees in towards the belly. While you're hugging here, let's point the feet and flex the feet. Point and flex. 3 more. Point and flex. 2 more. Point and flex. 1 more. Point and flex. Good. Now put your left foot down in a comfortable place. Bring your right hands interlaced behind your right thigh. Neck is long, elbows are nice and wide. Keep a little pressure in between the thigh and the hands, pushing one into the other. Extend the right leg up. Ooh, it's a stretch. Bend the knee, come back. Extend the leg up. Bend the knee, come back. 2 more. Breathe. And bend. 1 more time. Breathe. Now you're going to extend the leg as long as you can. Point and flex your foot. Point and flex your foot. Get a little dramatic about it. Really point, really flex. 2 more here. And 1 more time. And now flex and hold side to side. Bring the foot to the right and the foot to the left. Use your toes. Look at your ankle and your foot and your parts all up in there. How are they moving? How does it feel? I don't do things like this very often, so it feels like, wow, there's a lot of muscles in that foot. I'm going to bend the knee, come back around to my shin, give it a big hug because that feels nice. Lengthen the neck, take a breath into your belly. And then we're switching. Put that leg down, bring the left leg in, interlace your fingers behind your thigh. Oh, stretch and bend. A little bit of pressure in between the thigh and the hands. Not too much, just to increase the energy in the back of the leg. I'm doing 2 more of these leg extensions. And then I'll hold and now point, flex, point, and flex. Take your time here. Don't rush through this. So many little muscles in the feet that we've woken up in that first little bit. You're using them now. Let's do 1 more each way, and then we're going to flex side to side. Use your toes. Take your time. It's like, oh my gosh, this is the first time in months that I've thought about all those little muscles in the top of the foot, in the sides of the foot, how tight they get and how much they help me. Thank you, foot. And then come back to the center and we'll bend the knee, hug the shin, take a nice deep little stretch breath here. Inhale, exhale. And then I'm going to bring that leg back down. Arms right by the sides. You can scoot your feet in just a comfortable position. Feet kind of close to your tush. And then I'm going to bring my hands back onto my low belly. We just did a bit of this standing. Relax your shoulders. Inhale and fill up your waist. The exhale will be longer. As you exhale, your belly will come away from your hands. And there should almost be a feeling as if your pelvic bones are pulling in towards one another. And then as you inhale, there's a release and a sense of expansion. You're filling up your waist. You can release that feeling in between your hip bones. Exhale, pull it back in. You can even add a pelvic floor lift there. The pelvic floor naturally lifts when you exhale. We're just doing this breath 3 more times. 2 more. One more time. Good. So now we're going to let the pelvis move a little bit. With your inhale, you're going to slightly arch the low back. The pelvis kind of like the sits bones are reaching down and the low back lifts away. With your exhale, The sits bones look up a little bit and the low back comes down. Keep doing this. Try to use the low belly muscles as much as you're used to using your tushy muscles to tuck the pelvis. A lot of people generate this movement from the tush. It certainly isn't wrong, but I would love for you to turn your attention to that feeling, like really challenge yourself. Maybe you have to close your eyes. With the exhale comes the tuck. With the inhale comes the arch. And let's just do 3 more. Pay attention to the rest of the body. The neck should just be nice and long. Feet, create a little bit of an awareness there, push them down. We'll do 1 more of each of these shapes. Continue to also enjoy that exhale. When you're doing your exhale, the low back goes flat because of the belly. Come back to that neutrally shape. Walk your feet together. Keeping your pelvis still. Inhale, fill up your belly, expand. With your exhale, hips come in towards one another and the thighs squeeze each other. Feet together, heels together, big toes together, thighs squeeze. Inhale, expand your waist. 2 more like this. Exhale, squeeze the inner thighs and see if you can empty out and almost pull the low belly towards the floor. 1 more time. And then the arms are going to end up right by your sides. Try to keep your legs and your pelvis fairly still. We're going to start to bring up 1 leg at a time. Okay, I often don't think about the abdominals when I'm picking up 1 leg at a time. Why? Because I can pick up that leg without thinking about those muscles. Today, we're going to think about them. When you bring that leg up, can you think about drawing your low abdominals in and then putting the leg back down, maybe releasing that area a little bit? For some of us, it's really hard to feel these muscles. The low belly muscles work in tandem with all the muscles in and around the hips and the pelvis. Being able to use the low belly as much as we use our hip flexors and all those other muscles is really nice, because then the hip flexors don't have to do all the work, right? So continue to move here. We're just doing 3 more here. See if you can find those low belly muscles. Again, if you need to close your eyes, if you need to move the pelvis a little bit more than I am, maybe you're doing that little tuck situation. You don't have to overdo it. But again, are you using your tushy more than your low belly? It's not wrong, but we're just really trying to turn our attention to see if we can wake those muscles up. Let's do 1 more each way. And then put the feet down. 1 more thing here before we change our shape. Bring your hands to your mid-belly. Inhale, fill up your hands. Relax your shoulders. Exhale, think about having the belly come back in. As a lot of people exhale, their belly pushes out. It is normal for people to do that. Really make sure that the belly muscles are coming in. Just give me 1 more deep breath like that. Turn your attention to those low belly muscles 1 more time. Okay, so now we're going to flip over and come to the hands and the knees. Similar set of movements, but now we're just in gravity a little bit differently. Bring your hands forward. We usually start with the hands underneath the shoulders. We're just going to play with that a little bit. So my hands are out in front of my shoulders, maybe 4 or 5 inches. Knees are under the hips. Walk the knees and the feet together. Upper body is nice and stable. The only thing we're going to move is the low belly, the low back, and the tushy. With your inhale, arch the back, the low back, not the upper back. It's a small movement. We just did it lying down. With your exhale, from your low belly more than anything else. Come into a little bit of a tuck. See if you can completely isolate from your middle spine down to your sits bones as you breathe here. Inhaling to arch, exhaling to scoop the low belly, come into that flexion of the low spine. It's a little bit of a tuck. You're flexing your low back. Okay, close your eyes if you need to. We still want to see if we can find those low belly muscles. We're just doing 3 more here. And exhale. 2 more. And of course, I'm feeling the muscles in my tush and my hips. There's a lot of other muscles that are perking up, but I really want to make sure that I'm finding the muscles in the low belly. 1 more time. And now come back. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders a bit more. Now we're going to go for the full shebang, the full cat-cow. Exhale, it's a full round. Head down. Oh my gosh, this feels so nice. Push the floor away. And then inhale, arch the back. Now you can let the upper back join. We'll do 2 more. One more time. And we'll come back in. Bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders, maybe in a little bit so they're not so far away. Curl your toes forward. Sit back. Give those feet a little bit of a stretch. You can let your head hang down for a deep breath here. Inhale, exhale. And then come back. Okay, so we've been doing a bunch of knee lifts in a lot of the other classes. Now we're definitely going to feel the low belly. Lift your low belly in towards your low back. With your exhale, lift the knees. Let's see if we can really make sure we're including the low belly muscles. Inhale means come back to the floor. Exhale means come away. I'm going to do 3 more. Two more. One more time. And then come all the way down. Uncurl the toes. Why not child's pose? Arms forward, head down. Take a breath. And then we're going to walk the hands back, okay? We're going to come back onto our backs, and we're going to grab this towel. If the towel is not long enough for any of you, this would be a place where you would use something else like a yoga strap or a stretchy band or a longer towel. We're going to use it just to assist in a stretch before we do some of our moves here along the way, okay? So I'm going to take opposite corners of the towel and just kind of imperfectly hold it so it's as long as it can be. And then I'm going to put my right foot in the towel. So this is what I mean, those of you with tighter legs, this may not be long enough, but you can keep your knee soft here if you're almost making it, okay? We're going to keep the left leg straight, and oh my gosh, that immediately increases the stretch. Let's give this foot a little bit of a flex. If you need to keep your knees soft the whole time, that's fine. Bring your shoulder blades into the ground. Move the leg over to the left and then over to the right. It's not a huge range of motion. Let's just feel the leg into the hip. Maybe you get a little bit of a stretch. We're just gonna do this 3 more times. Bring it left and right. 2 more. Get a sense of your low belly here as well. 1 more time. In and out. Come back to center. Remove the towel. Keep it close by. Bring your arms down by your sides. This leg is going to circle in, around, and up. And you know, for me, I actually immediately feel the low belly a little bit more than I tend to because I have already woken it up. I always like exhale as I bring the leg up. 2 more this way. 1 more. And at the top, we'll reverse. Out. Cross the body and come back up. Out. Cross the body and come back up. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Bend the knee. Put that foot down. Grab your towel right into the other leg. So again, I'm going to hold on towards the edges of the opposite parts. Doesn't have to be perfect. Bring the leg up. Straighten out that right leg. Bring the leg in a little bit for that deeper stretch. Leg goes right and left. So it's not so far over in either direction. We're just kind of stretching out that hip a little bit, preparing it to do the circle. Breathe. Neck is nice and long. And then we're going to come back to the center. Take that towel to the side, arms down, and we circle around and up. And you know, I didn't say this on the other side. The pelvis doesn't need to move around too much. I'm not moving in between arch and tuck position, not too much at least, okay? So you don't need to move the pelvis around too much. You're welcome to bend both knees during this exercise, all right? So I'm keeping my legs pretty straight. At the top, let's go the other way. Out. Cross the body as you come around. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Bend the knee, put the foot down, and bend the other knee as well. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees go wide. Relax your pelvis. 1 deep belly breath. Breathe into your waist. Exhale. Draw those abdominals in. Same rules. And then bring the knees back up again. Walk your feet in towards your tush. Bring your hands to your hip bones. Pull your hip bones or press your hip bones up into your hands as you lift your tush away from the floor. It's not a huge lift, maybe 4 or 5 inches. Push down through the whole foot. Wear the toes. Push them down, lift your hips up into your hands, and then lower the hips right back down. So we're not going to tuck or arch as we move through this right here. See if you can keep your pelvis relatively still. See if you can use your whole foot. Toes stay down. Lift and lower the hips. The reason why I have your hands here, my hands here, is so you can really feel the hips lifting up towards the ceiling. And also, P.S., you can turn your attention towards your breath. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. We're just going to do 2 more. Lengthen out that neck. 1 more time. We're going to come down, come back up halfway. Hold right there. I'm going to keep my attention onto my hips, but I'm going to bring my arms down by my sides. Feet. Lift your heels. Put them back down. Lift your toes and the balls of the feet. Put them back down. Lift your heels. Put them back down. Lift your toes and the balls of the feet. Put them back down. One more each way. And the toes and the balls of the feet. Come on back down. Hold right there. Come back to hands on your hips. Lift your hips up into your hands so you're really pushing down through the feet and lifting up, like pushing into your own hands. Push down through your heels even more. Relax your throat and slowly roll down through the spine. You don't have to force anything here, but see if you can really roll through the spine, through the low back. And then the last thing is to relax and release your pelvis. Come into an arch. And we're going to try this again. Come back to neutral. Pick your hips up into your hands. Push your hip bones into your palms. Use your whole foot here, both of them. And now really continue to push through your heels a little bit more. Ever so slight tuck through your low back and your pelvis. And now roll through the back from top to bottom. Don't force it, release it on the way down. And the pelvis is the last thing to release. Go all the way into a little bit of an arch. We're going to do this one more time. Come back to neutral. Bring your hands into your hips. Lift and press. Press and lift. Push through the feet, lengthen the neck. Draw your belly in a little bit. Relax your throat. A little bit of a tuck to the low back and the pelvis. Push through your heels. Relax your chest and your throat as you roll down. This is your last one. Enjoy it. All the way down. Come into your little arch there and then come back to neutral. Walk your feet back in towards one another. We're going to use our towel again, okay? I'm still going to hold it in this just messy, imperfect way, and I'm just going to kind of roll it up a little bit. So it looks like that. Nothing fancy. We're going to bring the towel underneath the head. So it's right underneath the back of the head, kind of right in the middle. All right? So walk your feet in so they are kind of close to your tush, knees bent, feet flat. This little sling here for the head is nice. Bring your elbows towards the ceiling and let your palms face one another. Let's come back to our low belly. So inhale, expand your waist. Exhale, as you pull your belly towards the floor, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Inhale, come on back down. And then exhale, come up. Now keep going here for a minute. As you curl up, do you naturally tuck your pelvis? As you curl up with the head, neck, and shoulders, do you naturally tuck your pelvis? It's not wrong. It's fine. Can you not do it? So can you keep your low spine still as you curl forward? That's like a fun way to think about it. And also, key S, the feeling of pulling your abdominals in as you curl up. Here is that low belly awareness. You should feel like the belly is coming towards the floor as you come up. All right, let's do 3 more like this. And 2 more. And then last time. Think a belly button towards the floor. The next time you pick yourself up, hold here, keeping that low belly pulled in, one leg at a time, up and down. 2 more. One more each way. Come all the way down and bring your arms out nice and wide. You can keep the towel underneath the head and just bring your arms back down by your sides. Arms are going to come out a little bit wide though. Let's say like almost like you're an upside down capital V. The head is the point of the V. Bring your legs up into tabletop. Squeeze the legs together, feet together, knees together. Bring the knees over the belly button so it's not just over your hips. And we're going to come side to side here. See if you can bring the knees from side to side while keeping your shoulder blades grounded. And here's another place you can tap in to the muscles in through the low abdominals and also, of course, the obliques, the side belly as you're moving from side to side. Just keep breathing. 3 more here. 3 and 3 and 2 and 2. 1 and 1. Come back to center. Hold. Extend the legs up a little bit more. Maybe your legs are straight if you're very flexible. Think about your low belly here, my friends. Lower a little bit and come right back up. How about exhale? Lower the legs. Exhale up. This is a major low belly exercise here, but it's also a hip flexor exercise. But you've got to really pay attention to make sure the belly is working just as hard. 3 more. 3. 2 more. 1 more. Bend your knees, carefully come all the way down. Relax through the pelvis for a minute. Take a nice deep breath. Guess what? Grab your towel again. Make a sling for your head one more time. We're going to put these last 2 together a little bit. Palms are facing one another, elbows looking straight up. Draw your abdominals in. Come back where you just were with your legs. So I have a little bit of a soft knee. Draw those low abdominals in. Lower the legs a little bit. This time as you come up, head, neck, and shoulders. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Woo! And then come all the way down. Okay, you can take the towel out from underneath your head, just put it to the side. We're gonna roll onto our sides here, completely onto your side with straight legs. I'm gonna bring my bottom arm out and rest my head on my arm here. Do anything else that's comfortable here. You can put a pillow under your head or something else and bring your arm forward if that's more comfortable for your shoulder, okay? So I'm gonna bring my fingertips right in front of my own ribs. I'm just gonna imagine for a sec that I'm against the wall. Head back, spine is long. Of course, there's a natural curve here. Hip on top of the bottom hip, fingertips right in front of the ribs. The top leg is going to come up a little bit and then lower back down. Up a little bit and lower back down. Each time you lift your top leg, see if you can feel like you're making it longer than the bottom one. And also see if you can lift your bottom rib off or away from the mat. So you're really bringing yourself into this nice long straight line. 4 more here. Keep breathing. And 3. Even here. Low belly. Draw the abdominals in. 2 more. Okay, we're going to add a little bit. Pick up this leg. Hold. This leg is now glued in space. Bottom leg. Lift. Lower. Lift. And lower. Lift and lower. Try not to overuse this front hand, by the way. Get yourself really right on your side body. 3 more. And 2 more. 1 more time. Both legs are going to lift. Hold here. Flex your feet. Reach through the crown of the head and the heels. Point the feet, flex the feet. Point the feet, flex. One more each way. You can really try and balance on your side here if you want. Now flex and hold, fingertips back down. One leg forward as the other one goes back. And switch. And switch. And reach. Legs stay as long as they can. Don't hold your breath here. Keep the breath moving. 2 more. And 1. And 1. Bring the legs back. Lower them down. Let's bend your bottom knee. And the top leg is going to just come out nice and straight. Reach through that leg again, so the bottom ribs kind of lift away from the floor. I'm just going to rest my hand in front of my ribs really lightly, and I'm going to come forward and back. We're going to turn our attention back to the pelvis, you guys. A lot of people move through this exercise and they move their pelvis all around. When you bring the leg forward, the whole thing is going to want to come into flexion and tuck in order to bring your leg forward. We're not doing that today. Bring your leg as far forward as you can without moving your pelvis. It will move a little bit. It will move a little bit, but we're not going to fully tuck or arch the back. We're going to see if we can keep it nice and stable. Last 3. 3. Also, P.S., try to keep your foot hip height. 2. And back. One more time. Forward and back. Hold it back there in that back position. Little pulse up. This is for your side tush, glute med area. I've got my foot flexed. We're going to do 8 more here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Bend the knee, put that leg down for a minute. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to bring this top hand right to the head, just like we're doing a salute. And we're going to curl up to the side. Reach through your elbow. 4 more. Inhale down. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Come down and hold. Leg comes up so it's about hip height. Draw those low abdominals and quick pelvic check here. You're not rounded through your low back. Nice and neutral. Extend the leg out like you're pushing something away as you bring the knee in, a little bit of that side lift again. Extend, head comes down. Curl up. 5. And 4. And 3. 2 more. Last one. And then come all the way down. Bring this hand in front of you, and we're going to start to push ourselves all the way up and right over to the other side. We didn't use the towel there. Okay, so side 2, straight line. Get yourself organized with your head on your arm or whatever it is that you've used. Fingertips in front of the ribs. Make the legs so long. Start to lift that bottom rib away from the floor. And the top leg is going to come up and down and up. With each time you lift your leg, imagine you want to make it longer than the bottom leg. 5 more. 5. You're in a nice straight line here. 4. Be nice and light with this front hand. 3. You're breathing. 2. 1 more. We're going to hold, lift and lower here. So this may be like the more awkward side, which it kind of is for me here. So what's different about this side? Maybe it's a strength issue. Maybe your position is a little bit different. Just breathe. Breathe through it. Notice what's happening. 4 more here. And 3. And 2. I'm still thinking about picking up this bottom rib here, using the abdominals. Now we're lifting and holding. Point the feet. Flex the feet. Reach through the heels and the crown of the head. Point, flex, point, flex. One more time. Point, flex, and hold. One goes forward as the other one goes back. The pelvis remains relatively still. Breathing. Yeah, this side is always a little bit more challenging for me. Really gotta focus on my breathing and lengthening through the spine. Last two here. And one more time. And then come back together all the way down. Bend the bottom knee. Lengthen out through that top leg. Again, check in with that bottom rib. Lift it up. And the leg forward and back. So we're not moving that pelvis. We're trying to stabilize through the abdominals and your waist, and the pelvis is not going into the flexion when you bring your leg forward. 5 more. P.S. Check out that foot. Let's try to keep it hip height. And 4. And 3. And 2. Last one. We're going to bring it back and hold. Little pulse here. This is for the side tushy. Side tushy. Glute med. It should feel like the foot is slightly back behind the line of your body. And you're lifting up and back at the same time. Last 4. 4. 3. 2. Ooh, last one. Oh my goodness. Bend those knees. Let's grab a quick stretch while we're here. Bring your bottom arm forward and your top arm back. Two more exhales here. Try and exhale out any tension you're holding anywhere. Okay, and we're gonna bring the knees over to the other side. Take your time here. Along the way, it's still good to notice how one side differs from the other. I always like to bend my outside elbow in kind of a cactusy shape. So it's like an added stretch for the chest as well. Two more exhales here. One more. And then we roll back to the center. Okay, so we're gonna rock up to sit. I'm gonna bring my hands actually right behind my thighs. Bring the head up. Take a few times. Roll back. One more. And then come on up. I could have done it on the first time, but it was just kind of fun. Okay, come back to your hands and knees one more time. So we're gonna put the whole low belly to use with our little plank situation here. Modify however you need to. Hands under shoulders. We practice lifting the knees with the low belly. Challenge yourself one more time when you come up into your plank to think about the low belly keeping your hips up. Okay, so bring yourself up into a plank. There's a lot of us that end up using the glutes and the hip flexors more than the low belly. So maybe your hips are higher That's okay. Breathe. One more deep breath. Pull your belly in, soften your knees, lower them down. Keep your knees and your feet back beyond your hips and lean your hips forward into like a modified plank position. We're going to do 5 wide elbow push-ups. 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Hold at the top. Low belly, anyone? Can you find it? Can you use it? Take a nice deep breath, come up into your plank. Breathe. One more deep breath. Soften the knees and come down. Inhale, exhale. 5 more push-ups. Come into that modified position. Elbows are going to come kind of wide. Low belly here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Ooh. Sit back on your heels for a stretch. One more deep breath here. Okay, we're going to come on up to stand. Curl your toes forward. Come up to stand in pretty much whatever way you want. I'm going to roll up through the spine. Okay, one more thing before you're free. Feet a little bit, well, let's say right underneath your hip joints. Let's bring the arms a little bit wide, reaching down, shoulders down. Pull your head back, push your hips forward like we did in the beginning of class. Shift your weight into your one of your legs. I'm leaning over into my right leg. And then bring that left leg out. Can we use our toes, the heels, the whole foot? Can you think about your low belly just a little bit? You certainly could leave it out. And then we'll switch legs. Shift over there. Use that whole foot. Bring the opposite leg out. Low belly maybe. One more each way. Maybe it's the deep breath that helps you find those low belly muscles. Maybe you're able to find the feeling of using them without the deep breath, but the deep breath will help. One more the other way. And then come all the way back. Bring your arms down. Let them be heavy. Stand tall. One ear towards your shoulder and then over to the other side. Relax the jaw. One more each way. And then come back to the center. Bring the arms behind you. Hook your thumbs. Reach your fingertips down and let your head look down. Let your eyes look down. One more deep breath here. Release the arms, look straight ahead, stand tall, relax your shoulders, give me one more belly breath. We did it, you guys. I hope we found some low belly muscles today. Use them. Have a great day.